This video, taken on April 14th, 2022 of Gracewil Golf Course, now known as Wilder Crossings, shows the existence of numerous unregulated drainage ways, unregulated wetlands, soils that will not sustain buildings, and hundreds of trees that qualify as woodlands that must be protected as primary conservation areas pursuant to the plain text of the Alpine Township Ordinances, Sections 14A.1 through 14A.13. These conservation areas must, pursuant to ordinance, be preserved in their current and natural state and not altered, destroyed, redirected, built upon, infringed upon, or encroached upon, but preserved. The applicant's revised site plan ignores these mandates and ignores these primary conservation areas throughout the site. A brief narrative accompanies the video for contextual purposes. We begin at the northwestern boundary of the site with the Schindler neighborhood at lot 255 of the revised site map. This is the area where engineer Rick Pulaski noted that 36 acres of off-site water flows through to the golf course, affecting an additional 64 acres of on-site water. Moving eastward and then northward, the visible unregulated drainage way meanders down the middle of the number 3 west fairway to about proposed lot 251, then to the eastern edge of the fairway, and eventually turning eastward toward Mill Creek. Also visible in the northwest view of your screen at about proposed lot 263, we see another unregulated drainage way flowing from the Schindler properties westward toward Mill Creek. Both of these unregulated drainage ways join together and flow to Mill Creek. As you follow these unregulated drainage ways, observe the hundreds of trees along the route that constitute woodlands that must be protected by the ordinances. Mill Creek is seen at the northeastern edge of the proposed site as a designated open space. Its use as an open space remains questionable. From here, the video turns back to the west, showing the same two unregulated drainage ways crossing over the number 13 fairway, number 3 fairway, and then to the south, showing the drainage way as it meanders along the fairway. and back to the place of origin of this video. A close-up view of the drainage way and the standing water collected on the site, as well as the standing water collected on the Schindler properties, viewed from the west, is provided. Turning south along the site's northwestern border with the Schindler properties, we see additional unregulated wetlands and drainage ways that abut the Schindler properties. These wetlands and additional unregulated drainage ways are created by the flow of 36 acres of off-site water that flows to and through the 64 acres of on-site water of the property development at lots 210, 211, and 212. The flows of these waters move southward and includes the applicant's proposed open space, mailboxes, and playgrounds. Moving westward down the current number 12 West Fairway, we see yet another unregulated drainage way moving westward from about lot 164 and ponding on the southern edge of the fairway. Eventually, this flow joins yet another unregulated drainage way coming from the Schindler properties to the north. Moving further south, we see the unregulated drainage flows, wetlands, and hundreds of trees considered woodlands. These flows eventually join the flows coming from the west as a result of the 250 acres of off-site water located west of Peach Ridge, noted by engineer Pulaski, that joins the already 86 acres of on-site water of the proposed site. The executive homes zoned RA that make up part of this off-site 250 acres are viewed here. Turning back to the east and then northward, we see again the vast number of trees that constitute woodlands that the applicant intends to clear cut to make way for over 300 homes. Planting 600 small 1-inch in diameter trees along streets is not permitted as a substitute for preserving the existing woodlands pursuant to the ordinance. As seen on the Peach Ridge properties, we also see the executive homes that make up the Schindler properties zoned RA and that are part of the 36 acres of off-site water that flows on and through the proposed site. To summarize, the current zoning ordinances of the OSN PUD mandates that all unregulated woodlands, wetlands, wet meadows, soils that will not sustain buildings, all trees and 10-inch in diameter must be preserved as primary conservation areas.